Hey everyone, my name's Kim Henderson. I am the Copycat Crafter, and I would like to welcome you to the January to April 2023 mini catalog launch party. I would like to thank you for coming and watching, and I would also like to thank Stephanie for inviting me to participate. Each time a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator has $1 million in sales, they get to help design a stamp set. And I picked one of our $1 million stamp sets out of this catalog because this one's kind of near and dear to me. It is one of my uplines stamp set, Erica Serwin, and she got to design this one. She's also here in San Antonio, and she likes tacos, and I think this stamp set is so much fun. So I'm going to show you a card. We're going to make it together, and then I'm going to show you a couple of ways to step it up and make it a little fancier and a little, more advanced. And then I've got a couple others to show you as well. So hope you enjoy. Here we go. I wanted to show you in the catalog where it is, and it is on page 48. And these are all the elements in the stamp set, and there's a couple of examples that they made showing it. So here we go. I'm going to start off with a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of real red cardstock. As you can see, hopefully, I've scored it already at 4 1/4. So now I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. And then when we fold it, oh, I was wondering if it was going to do this to me again. Okay, so I wanted to show you a trick. This is like take 597, really not quite that many, but it seems like it. And I did this in the last one, and I was like, oh, already messed it up because I fixed it. Can you see how the edges don't quite match up? You got a couple of choices with this. Number one, you can turn it over, and there you go, you can't tell it. But I can't do that because it would bother me that it still didn't match up. It's paper, it's not steel. So you just match up those edges. Just work that little edge up there. And once you get it going, take your handy dandy bone folder. And there you go. Well, I didn't get it all the way matched up that time, did I? But once you're through with it, you can't tell. There we go. See? I did mess that one up a little bit inside, but it won't be obvious. So we've got our card base. And this is 5 1/2 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches long. We're going to take a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 inches wide by 4 inches long, and I'm going to doodle around the edges of it just to add a little bit of dimension. And I've already done it around the other pieces, but I wanted to show you how I did it. So it does not have to be straight, does not have to be perfect. I actually think that it adds a little bit to it if it's not. It's a doodle line, it's not a, follow me line. Okay, so then I'm going to take some of my favorite green glue. When dealing with big pieces like this, I like using the green glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So get it on there as straight as you can. Press everything down. There we go. There's layer number 1. And as I said, I've already done the other layer. So the next layer is a granny apple green. I've doodled around the edges. It is 4 3/4 inches long and 3 1/2 inches wide. And we're going to do it with the green glue also. And I probably go a little overkill on my glue. I do it the same with my stamp and seal too, but I don't want them to come apart. And you know, if a little will do you, then a lot will. And sometimes you might have a little bit of glue come out. You can just wipe it off. If you have one of these erasers, I got this one at Dollar Tree. It is, I don't know what they're actually called, but it erases glue without tearing up your paper. And there we go. Glue's all gone. You have to wait for it to dry a little bit, but most paper crafting glue dries really fast. I had some on my finger. Get that one off. Alright. So now our next layer is going to be squares. And, well, not all squares. Squares and little rectangles. And we're going to have one each of Daffodil Delight and Real Red, measuring 1.5 inches tall, and then a 1/2 inch wide, 1.5 inches wide, 1 3/4 inch wide. And like I said, you're going to do that in both colors. And of course, I doodled around the edges already. And I'm going to do these with stamp and seal so I don't end up making a mess on my card. The easiest way to do this, in my opinion, is to start in your corners. And I'm going to do, excuse me, I'm going to do the Real Red on the bottom. And that one is the 1 3/4 inch wide. And then we're going to do the Daffodil Delight up above it. And then, in my opinion, it's easier if you do the corners first, because then it gives you the wiggle room in the middle. You don't have something quite even. So we're going to come up. You want to match it up with that corner as much as you can. There we go. And then we'll take our red square. And same thing, we're going to match it up with this one over here as much as we can. And this one, so now we've got two corners we need to match up, because you want it to match up with that one as well as the red across. There you go. And so then we're going to split the difference with the opposite color on the top and bottom. And you just want to center that between your two pieces. There we go. Alright, so we're going to, one of the elements on this stamp set is a cute little cactus. So we're going to put a cute little cactus in this yellow square right here. And we don't want him to be straight, so I'm just turning him a little bit. There we go. And we're going to color that with Granny Apple Green blends, the light and the dark. These little markers make you feel artistic. I'm starting off with, oh, I didn't want to start off with the light. I'm going to start off with the dark and go around my edges. Because we've got so many layers under here, I don't have to really worry about this. If you were going on the one layer, I would be very careful, because the blends do bleed through. They're alcohol markers. But like I said, we've got so many layers here, it's not going to go through to the middle of my card. Add that for a little shadowing. And you know, I told you that the Copycat Crafter I kind of came up with that because my mother was very artistic. I did not inherit those genes. But I can find inspiration in things and kind of copycat and recreate them. So I always considered myself a copycat, so that's where the name came from. So, alright, I got my cactus all colored in. Now we're going to give him a cute little face. And I went with the mustache. This one right here. So we're going to stamp that right in the middle of our little cactus. Isn't he cute? Alright, so we're going to lay this aside for just a second. And I want to show you the other elements that we're going to use right here. These are all so small you can really stamp them on just scraps of paper. And I'm going to show you a couple of things, the chips and the taco for one, of what I love most about alcohol markers. So this is the dark So Saffron, and I kind of yield to the artistic beings that designed these. And over here where they've got the little dots for some shadowing, that's where I go in with my dark. And I'm not trying to be real precise because we're going to blend it, which is the name of the markers, blends. They blend so wonderfully. So I've got the dark right there. I'm going to come back in with the light So Saffron. For this piece I might need the bigger paintbrush. Tip goes a little faster. And you want to make sure that you're going into the piece we did over there on the corner, because that's what blends them in together, so that it gives you that shadowing effect like you're real artistic, which I'm not, but it looks really cool when you get through. So now we got to color in our lettuce and tomatoes, and I'm going to use the light granny apple green. For a lettuce. And then a real red for the tomatoes. And I'm not going to make you watch me color all these. I just wanted to show you how easy it is, and I could sit and color forever. There you go. I did the same concept on the chips, and I'm going to show you because I've already, through the magic of video. So there's our little guacamole bowl, colored, ready to go, and cut out. They're very easy to cut out. I'm not a big fussy cut person, but I gotta say these really weren't difficult to cut. I left the chips attached because I wanted to show you what I'm going to do with the chips to just kind of add a little extra something to them. So that one that's over here off a little bit, I went ahead and cut it apart. And then cut these other two out. Alright, so now I'm on a self-healing mat here, so be careful if you do this at home. Make sure you're on something you're not going to destroy. But I've got a little razor cutter here, and I'm just going to cut a strip through my guacamole bowl. And I don't have any fingernails, so I'm going to do this with my scissors and widen that out just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my set that has the two chips and set it down. See how it came out the back here? And then we're going to pop that one up on dimensionals, and I'm going to use the dimensional to help hold that in place. So I put it over that chip in the back. So we're going to put these down here. And then this one, I'm going to put one of our mini dimensionals on it, since it's kind of small. And I'm just going to kind of straddle the dimensional over those other two chips so that you get all three of the chips and it looks like they're just popped up out of that bowl. I missed a little edge right there. There we go. Got it. Okay, so my other little element is this little sombrero hat. Isn't he so cute? He needs a little dimensional also. And our little cactus is going to wear the sombrero. And you know what? I just noticed something. When you stamp these, you might want to stamp your little images first. I may have to go back and redo that. My ink was still wet, so when I stamped on it, it ran. And then I'm going to put a little piñata. Down here on the bottom, and our taco up here. The sentiment I chose for this card is long time no taco. I thought that was cute. It also fit very nicely. So I've got a piece of Granny apple green. It's 1/2 inch wide. This is just off of a scrap, so it is longer than you really need. You really only need like 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to stamp down on one side of it, and then we're going to cut it anyway. So I just went ahead and left it long. So we will cut it like stamp it like right there. And I didn't put any outlines on this one because I wanted to wait until I stamp it in case I get too close to one edge like I did right there. Anyway, so we're going to just pop him up on some dimensionals as well. This stamp set was really a lot of fun to play with. I've got some other cards to show you. One of them is basically this one, but I added a little extra stuff to it. There we go. Long time no taco. And this is using the Taco Fiesta stamp set. So here's one of the other ones that I made. And you can see like around the edges where I added some shading. And I did that with our blending brushes. These are our new mini blending brushes. Are they not just too cute? They're also in the mini catalog on page 67 if you're interested in looking at those. We've had the bigger ones for a long time, but the mini ones are new and I really like them. They're very easy to handle. Then I've also got this little card. It says, "Look at you." The sentiment for this one came off of a stamp set out of our Celebration catalog. If you don't know what Celebration is, this little mini catalog right here is good from January the 5th through February the 28th. There's nothing in this book that you can buy. All of it's free. So with a qualifying purchase, you can take your pick of the free items. This one was thanks a bunch. I got it free with a $50 order. And look at you. I got the sentiment from it. Anyway, see all the cute little carrots? I love that stamp set. I've done several cards with it too. So there's that one. And then this one. Holy guacamole. I'm not a guacamole person, are you? But this card was sure fun to make. I cut out all the little avocados, colored them, added some chili peppers. And that's that. Again, my name is Kim Henderson. I am the Copycat Crafter. Thank you so much for watching my video. I would love it if you would like it and If you want to see more, I'm hopefully going to start posting one video a week if I can get my technological challenges going and it doesn't take 500 takes per video. But I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.